Like what your PIN number is on your debit card?
Not that.
Go ahead and say that. I'm recording. All right, whenever you're ready.
You two ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, are we?
Well, greetings and welcome to Sinclair. This is our holiday edition of our weekly educational grand rounds. And unlike previous episodes in the past, today we are recording this particular episode as we wish to have it put out in more of a high definition. So unfortunately, there won't be any questions that can be asked during this broadcast. However, at the end, we'll gladly show you how to contact Sinclair with any questions that you have. And as usual, my name is Jim Ellermeyer. I'm a behavioral health therapist here at Sinclair, and today I'm joined by two of my colleagues, and on my right would be...
I'm Danielle Chandler. I'm the assistant office manager.
And on my left would be...
I'm Melissa Vertosic, certified holistic health coach.
So could you tell us a little bit about what your role is here at Sinclair, Melissa?
Sure. I seek patients for nutritional counseling, helping them to improve their diets, as well as a lifestyle coach. I've been working with patients on helping them to change their lifestyle to reach their goals.
So what, and I believe everyone out there now may have caught on by now, here at Sinclair, that we don't look at a person as anxiety or depression or some type of quote disorder. However, what we like to do is look at that person as a whole, on a holistic level, on mind, body, and spirit, and what type of enhancements can we offer to an individual's life? What type of choices can they make, either by subtraction, addition, or remaining some of the things exactly the same as they work, what can work in their life. And as today, as we are into the holiday season, one of the things that we often hear so much is, how many times, Melissa, have you said that you heard people say, I ate too much?
Yes, definitely at this time of year, and a lot of the time it's not so much I ate too much like broccoli, it's I ate too many sweets, cookies, things like that.
So how often have you said I ate too much broccoli, Danielle?
I don't think I've ever said I ate too much broccoli. So.
Well, the idea is that if a company has to spend millions, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars to convince you on how to convince you to buy a product, our thoughts are that it's not worth buying. So here at Sinclair, what we try to put across is the power of simplicity. And today, Melissa, you've created some dishes for the folks out there. Perhaps I plan on sampling them, absolutely. So perhaps that won't leave you with that bloated feeling. Perhaps it won't wake you up in the middle of the night. Perhaps that won't have you wishing I wish I wouldn't have eaten that.
Right. Yes. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of times people there's a couple of times of day that are struggles. One is usually like the mid-afternoon slump. Others is in the evenings when they're home from work or at a party, which is holiday season. So a lot of people are going to dinners and events. And so these are dishes that you can take with you either to work or to a party that people would enjoy, that are very simple. So to start with, we have, I'm not sure if we can... Here, slide over, Jim. So we have two things. One is sweet, slightly sweet, and one is spicy. And not as in the sense of like you're going to burn your mouth out spicy. But we have roasted pecans that just have a little bit of olive oil and cinnamon on them. And I roasted these together in the same oven today. So at 400, the pecans take like 5-6 minutes, something like that. You don't want to go too far, otherwise you start to burn them. And then roasted chickpeas, which you put in the oven at 400 for about 30 to 40 minutes. And I roasted those dry and then added the spice after. And again, I just used a little bit of olive oil and mixed garam masala powder with the olive oil, and then mixed the chickpeas in after I pulled them out of the oven. Garam masala is a spice mix that you can find at the grocery store. It's usually a combination of cardamom, cloves, cumin, cinnamon, and black pepper. So like I said, it does kind of have a little bit of a spice to it compared to the roasted pecans. So again, both of these are very easy to make, easy to take with you, very portable, and most people will enjoy them. And you can play around with the spices as to what your preference is. But they also have the benefit of providing you with some fiber and some protein to go with it, because a lot of times, like I mentioned, we have a lot of sweets, and so this can help to balance that.
Well, Danielle, I'm sure that you've been invited to some gatherings, holiday gatherings, or even gatherings during the year, and I'm sure that one of the questions you've asked is, what can I bring?
Yes, every year.
And what do we normally do when we go out to take something to a gathering?
We usually bring a dessert.
Right.
You know, a sweet of
Right.
some sort.
Right. Have you ever been to one of these, maybe a fancy gourmet shop or a grocery store, and some of the things that they prepare, they're very expensive.
Yes.
They're very expensive. So tell us the difference between the preparation of these and what some of the things that I'm sure that you've seen that are offered for sale in stores.
Well, the main thing is that there's basically just 3 ingredients, and you should probably have them all in your cupboard at home right now, or can very easily get them. It's in the very minimal prep time. Like I said, you just kind of preheat the oven, put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the oven for 10 minutes for the pecans and 30 to 40 for the chickpeas, and you're done. So it's very quick, easy, something that as we're very time strapped, that this can be a way to do that, rather than going and picking something up that may have 10 to 15 ingredients. Some of them you may not know what they are. It's just as convenient.
And is there any sugar in these?
No,
There's no sugar in
no
these.
sugar.
Tell me, have you ever been around little ones who've eaten too much sugar, Danielle?
Yes, plenty of times.
And what can you tell us how that ends up?
Usually in a sugar crash. Those are the best crashes.
So the idea here is that there is no processed type of material
Right.
in this. Could you share with our folks out there who may be viewing this? Tell what processed food does to a person's body.
Well, it does a few things. One is it does not provide any nutritional value to your body, and things like refined sugar can actually deplete your nutrients from your body as well while you're trying to digest it. So it kind of gives you a double whammy with that. And also, you're not really sure what kind of chemicals are being used and their effects on our body. I mean, a lot of studies have been done about different chemicals and how they affect our metabolism, and which is something that's key right now, because a lot of people, come January 1st, their resolution is to lose the weight that they've put on during the holidays. And so this, having a lot of chemicals can, affect your metabolism and then affect your success with your goals.
So what you're telling us is to be more proactive rather than reactive. Let's work on keeping the weight off rather than work on getting the weight off.
Right, exactly, yes.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean you can't enjoy, something sweet during the holidays. It's just being mindful of what you're eating and making that choice of what is worth it to you, which dessert, which sweet is the one that you want to indulge in.
And could you tell us about your choice of pecans and chickpeas today?
Well, my choice is because I said they both have some protein and they both have fiber. And pecans have some fats to them. And what the proteins and fats do and fiber, they all balance your blood sugar by making it go more slowly into your bloodstream so your body can handle it. You're not going to get that sugar crash. And, so you'll have energy throughout the day, in a more refined fashion.
And what would a servings like we're showing here? What could it cost an individual to make?
Like I said, most like the olive oil and the spices you may have in your cupboard already, but the chickpeas, they're like $1 a can. They're not expensive at all. And then the pecans vary based on where you're purchasing them at, but they may be like $5 a pound.
Mm-hmm. Do you know little children that would happen to like to eat at places that serve a lot of processed food, like McDonald's and Burger King and those type of places? Would you happen to know a little girl like that?
I do.
You do. And, does this little person enjoy that type of food?
She does. But it's also my job as a parent to let her know that, that these foods are not good for her. And, so that's, what we work on is, trying to get her away from that. And also a lot of the problem is sometimes it's just a convenience, like, hey, let's stop and, grab a Happy Meal or...
And why are these type of food items so attractive to particularly younger people? Why do they taste so good?
Oh, they taste so good mainly because the companies have put in a lot of time and research to discover what our taste buds want and how to manipulate that to make us want more. There are certain, products where like when you eat one, you just want to keep eating them. And they're designed kind of that way. They play on our taste buds for like the fats and the sugars that are that satisfy you, but some things that are generally not in nature as frequently. So those are things that we're like, oh, these are treats. These are things that, we don't get very often, but in reality, you can get them very frequently.
So I have a challenge for you, Danielle.
Yes.
When next time you go grocery shopping, I would like you to examine the labels on every on every food that you buy, and I'd like you to determine how many of the ingredients that you actually can pronounce or know what they are. So, are the ingredients in this particular dish pronounceable?
Oh yes. Yes.
Do people understand what they are?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay, great. Have you seen a billboard for broccoli on your way here this morning, Danielle?
I can't say I am.
Did you see a billboard for chickpeas?
No.
No, no, we did not. So the idea is that the power of simplicity cannot be overstated. We are experts at complicating our lives. How often during these particular type of seasons do we try to live up to the unreasonable expectations of others and perhaps the unreasonable expectations of ourselves? And Melissa has just showed us a wonderful dish here. How long did it take you to prepare these?
Like I said, the chickpeas roast for about 30 to 40 minutes, but I'm not actually like doing anything with them at that time. So I would say maximum 5 minutes to toss the ingredients together.
5 minutes.
Max, yeah.
Okay. And could you share with our audience how they could get in contact with you?
Sure. I mean, they could definitely contact me through Sinclair's website. I'm in the staff listing as well as through thewholelifeapproach.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm assuming that this recipe is going to be available to be posted online. And my hope is that you may explore the Sinclair website. And we'll ask Miss Danielle to take us out.
Oh. To continue the conversation, please like us on Facebook, Google+, us on Google, or follow us on Twitter under Sinclair Life. And keep an eye out for any of these for the next live recording Mondays at noon to ask your own questions.
And as always, we leave you with a free prescription. We leave you with fruits, nuts, and vegetables. Perhaps unplug your television and take out fishing. And as everyone knows out there, for a truly mindful experience, you can contact my friend Sven, and he can show you how to fish without bait. And your assignment for the rest of this holiday season is to be good to yourself, please. Thank you so much for joining us today.